You are not defeated by the world. You are defeated by the times you abandon yourself. Every broken dream, every silent regret, every choice that haunts you is not because others betrayed you, but because you betrayed your own soul. We often imagine betrayal as something others do to us. A friend breaks their promise, a partner turns away, a family member fails to stand by us, yet the deepest wound is not caused by others. It is caused by ourselves when we turn our back on who we truly are. Self-betrayal is subtle, often unnoticed, yet it is the quiet thief that robs us of peace, dignity, and fulfillment. To stop betraying yourself, you must learn to hear your own voice louder than the noise of the world. Every time you say yes, when your heart screams no, you betray yourself. Every time you silence your own dreams just to fit into the mold that others have built for you, you betray yourself. Every time you ignore the intuition that whispers the truth only to follow the crowd, you betray yourself. And over time, this betrayal eats away at your strength until you no longer recognize who you are. To live fully, you must decide that your truth is worth more than approval. The world trains us to seek validation, to please others, to conform. From childhood, we learn to bend our will for acceptance. But true acceptance can only come from within. Chasing external approval is a losing battle. You will never satisfy everyone, and in trying, you lose yourself. The greatest courage is not in fighting enemies outside, but in refusing to abandon your own soul inside. The day you stop betraying yourself is the day you begin to live. The signs of self-betrayal are everywhere. That job you hate but continue out of fear. That relationship you know is draining your spirit, but you hold on to for comfort. That dream you keep postponing, waiting for the right time that never arrives. Each of these choices is a slow act of betrayal. They seem small in the moment, but together they build a life that feels heavy, lifeless, and false. You cannot carry the burden of lies about yourself without paying a price. Stopping this cycle begins with awareness. You must catch yourself in the very moment you are about to compromise your soul. That hesitation before saying yes, that discomfort in your chest when you agree to something you don't want, that silent voice that asks, "Why am I doing this?" These are not weaknesses. They are signals. They are reminders that you have a choice, that you can honor yourself instead of betraying yourself again. To stop betraying yourself, you must learn the art of boundaries. A boundary is not cruelty. It is clarity. When you say no to what violates your soul, you are saying yes to your truth. People may not like it. They may resist. They may call you selfish. But selfishness is living a lie, while self-respect is living in truth. Boundaries protect you not from others, but from your own tendency to abandon yourself. Another form of betrayal is pretending to be someone you are not. So many live behind masks, performing roles, acting out scripts given to them by society. They pretend to be happy, to be strong, to be fine, while inside they are crumbling. The longer you wear a mask, the harder it becomes to remember your real face. Authenticity may feel risky, but the cost of hiding is far greater. When you stop betraying yourself, you no longer need to pretend you stand in the power of who you really are. Self-betrayal also shows up when we break promises to ourselves. You say you'll start, but you delay. You say you'll change, but you repeat. You say you'll honor your health, your dream, your growth, but then you let excuses win. Imagine if someone you loved constantly broke promises to you, you'd stop trusting them. The same happens within. Each broken promise erodes your self-trust until you no longer believe in yourself. Rebuilding begins when you keep even the smallest promises consistently and faithfully. Fear often drives us into betrayal. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of loneliness. We choose comfort over courage, short-term peace over long-term freedom. But fear is a liar. It convinces you that betraying yourself is safer than facing risk. Yet the truth is this: betraying yourself is the most dangerous thing you can do, because it leaves you with nothing real. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to abandon yourself because of it. Stopping self-betrayal requires silence and listening. The world is loud, and the louder it gets, the harder it is to hear yourself. But deep within, Your soul always knows the truth. Spend time alone. Reflect, journal, meditate, whatever helps you reconnect to your inner voice. That voice may not always be the easiest to follow, but it will always lead you to freedom. The more you listen to it, the stronger it grows, until it becomes impossible to ignore. The greatest tragedy is when people live their entire lives betraying themselves, living for others, suppressing their true nature, silencing their spirit. They may succeed outwardly, but inside they feel empty. The world does not need another imitation. It needs your authenticity. It needs the unique expression that only you can bring. And you cannot give it if you keep betraying yourself. You stop betraying yourself the day you decide you are enough, just as you are. You don't need to prove, to beg, to earn your worth. You only need to honor it. Life becomes lighter when you stop carrying the weight of other people's expectations. Happiness becomes natural when you stop silencing your truth. Love becomes possible when you no longer abandon yourself for the sake of belonging. So ask yourself, where have you betrayed yourself today? Where have you stayed silent when you should have spoken, stayed when you should have left, settled when you should have risen? Those moments are not failures, but invitations to rise higher. To live without self-betrayal is to live with integrity, courage, and peace. It is to wake up each morning and know that no matter what happens, you are true to yourself. And that is the ultimate freedom, to walk through life unmasked, unashamed, and unafraid, because you are no longer at war with yourself. Stop betraying who you are. Begin today. Choose yourself. Honor yourself. Be yourself. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your truth. Every time you say yes when your heart whispers no, you trade your truth for comfort. That moment may seem harmless, but inside it leaves a wound that never fully heals. The weight of false agreements builds over time until you no longer recognize your own desires. Life feels heavy because you're carrying choices that were never yours to begin with. Courage means honoring the no within you, even when others resist. It means trusting that your authenticity is more valuable than forced harmony. You were not created to bend endlessly until you break. You were created to stand firm in your truth. Saying no is not rejection. It is redirection to what is real. The world may call it selfish, but it is self-respect. And self-respect is the soil in which freedom grows. Stop betraying yourself in small ways, because those small ways build a broken life. Begin today by choosing your truth over temporary peace. One honest no is worth more than 1,000 false yeses. Chasing approval from others is like drinking salt water. It never quenches your thirst. No matter how much validation you gain, it will never fill the void of self-rejection. People's opinions change with the wind, and basing your worth on them is building on sand. The respect of others cannot compensate for the loss of respect within. The voice you should fear losing is your own. You betray yourself when you live as a mirror, only reflecting what others want to see. True power comes when you no longer beg for acceptance, but offer your presence unapologetically. You are enough without applause, without permission, without praise. Approval is fleeting, but integrity lasts forever. Stop bending your soul to fit into spaces that shrink you. When you walk in your truth, the right people will recognize you. And even if no one does, you still remain whole. Respect from the world is sweet, but respect from yourself is sacred. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They are bridges to your own dignity. Every time you allow others to cross them unchecked, you betray the very essence of your worth. A life without boundaries is a life without balance. Saying no to what drains you is not cruelty, it is wisdom. Protecting your space is the ultimate form of self-care. You are not responsible for carrying burdens that do not belong to you. Boundaries are the way you teach others how to treat you, but more importantly, they are how you teach yourself. Each line you draw in love for yourself strengthens your identity. Without them, you dissolve into the demands of others. Boundaries may push people away, but they will also attract those who truly respect you. They are the invisible armor of your soul. If you want peace, you must protect it. Boundaries are not rejection of others. They are acceptance of yourself. Pretending to be someone you are not is a betrayal disguised as survival. The masks you wear may win applause, but they also suffocate your soul. The more you perform, the more you forget your true face. Authenticity feels dangerous because it exposes you, but the risk of hiding is far greater. You cannot heal behind a mask, you only prolong the pain. Pretending brings temporary approval but permanent emptiness. The world doesn't need your act, it needs your truth. Each time you choose honesty over performance, you reclaim a piece of yourself. The bravest thing you can do is to show up exactly as you are. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. Masks may protect you from judgment, but they also keep love from reaching you. The life you want can only be lived by the real you, not the version you pretend to be. Remove the disguise. Freedom waits behind it. Each promise you make to yourself is a seed of self-trust. When you break it, you plant doubt instead of growth. You tell yourself you'll change, but excuses become louder than commitment. Over time, your own soul stops believing in you. Imagine how devastating it is when someone you love constantly lies to you. That's what you do to yourself when you break promises. Rebuilding trust begins with honoring even the smallest commitments. Wake up when you said you would. Take the step you said you'd take. Keep the vow you whispered in silence. Self-trust is not built overnight. It is built in small, consistent victories. Each kept promise strengthens the foundation of your confidence. And once you trust yourself, nothing can shake you. Betrayal weakens the spirit, but consistency heals it. Keep your word, not just to others, but especially to yourself. Your soul deserves that loyalty. Fear often disguises itself as wisdom, convincing you that betrayal is safer than risk. It whispers that silence is better than speaking, that comfort is better than courage. But fear is a liar. Every time you choose safety over truth, you dig a grave for your spirit. The cage of fear may feel secure, but it is still a cage. Freedom only comes when you dare to act despite trembling. Fear convinces you that staying small is survival, but it is actually self-destruction. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the refusal to betray yourself because of it. Every step you take in fear is a step away from your soul, but every step you take despite fear is a victory for your spirit. Life will never give you a moment without risk. Choose to live boldly anyway. Fear will pass, but the regret of betrayal will linger forever. Within you, there is always a voice that knows the truth. It is soft, subtle, often drowned by noise, yet it never lies. When you betray yourself, it is because you choose to ignore that voice. The world shouts with its demands, but your soul whispers with wisdom. Learn to listen. Spend time in silence, and the truth will rise like the sun. That inner knowing is your compass, guiding you when all else seems uncertain. The more you honor it, the stronger it becomes. Betrayal happens when you choose external noise over internal guidance. Peace comes when you align your steps with your inner truth. Trust that voice. It knows your worth better than the world ever could. You will never regret listening to it, but you will always regret silencing it. Your soul is wiser than your fears. Let it lead. No amount of achievement can give you peace if you abandon your own voice. Outward success means little when inwardly you are at war. The conflict within is heavier than any obstacle outside. Betrayal silences the song of your soul, leaving only emptiness in its place. Peace is not found in external victories, but in internal alignment. When your actions reflect your truth, life feels lighter. You don't have to pretend, to fight, to justify. You simply exist in harmony with yourself. Silence the false agreements, and the noise in your head quiets too. The most restful sleep comes when you have not abandoned your soul during the day. Stop betraying yourself for a life that looks good but feels empty. Peace cannot be borrowed. It must be chosen. And the choice is always to honor yourself. When you do, life flows naturally, and your spirit finally rests. Authenticity is often frightening because it feels exposed, but nothing kills the soul faster than pretending. Living behind a mask may keep you safe from judgment, but it also keeps you safe from love. Pretending keeps you stuck in a story that isn't yours. Authenticity might bring rejection, but it also attracts what is real. When you stand as yourself, you may lose false connections, but you gain freedom. Pretending is a prison where you play a role forever, while authenticity is the key that sets you free. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your raw, unpolished truth. Every time you dare to show up real, you light a path for others to do the same. Authenticity may cost you comfort, but it rewards you with purpose. Stop hiding behind masks. The life you long for will only recognize the real you. Pretending is death in slow motion. Choose life. The world is filled with imitations, but your truth is rare. Every time you betray yourself to blend in, you rob the world of your uniqueness. No one else carries your voice, your vision, your spirit. The greatest gift you can give is authenticity. Imitation may bring temporary acceptance, but it leaves no legacy. Your truth is what sets you apart, what inspires, what transforms. The world is starving for honesty in a sea of masks. Stop betraying yourself for applause that fades. True fulfillment comes when you live unashamed of your truth. Wholeness is not found in being liked, but in being real. Even if no one understands you, standing in your truth is freedom. The world doesn't need another shadow, it needs your light. Do not dim it for the comfort of others. Shine as you are. That is how you honor both yourself and life itself.